Please watch this next clip. It's Commissioner Olli Rehn, one of the big bosses from Brussels, and he's telling us why Eurozone countries must stop managing their own budgets and hand over all that power to people like him. It is, in my view, the dullest, most boring, technocratic speech I've ever heard in my life, and yet anti-democratic and dangerous at the same time. Watch this clip and you'll be convinced, I'm sure, we shouldn't let these people run our lives.
Thank you. Before taking the Gauzès report, Commissioner Rehn would like to speak.
Madam President, honourable members, the importance of this moment and of this vote for Europe's economic future can hardly be overstated. Together with the six-pack, these two regulations bring us several steps towards a genuine economic and monetary union. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all the rapporteurs, shadow rapporteurs. I dare to state that if the six-pack and two-pack had been there at the introduction of the euro, we would never have suffered from a crisis of such magnitude. In any case, we would have got over the crisis much more quickly and with less social and financial costs. With the vote today, I trust we will demonstrate the benefits and the functioning of the community method. When looking in retrospect the EU's crisis response and thinking of today's vote and the Commission's declaration on a redemption fund and Eurobills, I can only wish that the Council had been persuaded and supportive of the community method already in spring 2010, 3 years ago. I am referring to the critical ECOFIN meeting of the 9th and 10th of May 2010, when the Commission on Europe Day, in one of our crisis meetings, made a proposal to create a single European financial stability mechanism based first on guarantees by the EU budget until €60 billion and then on joint and several guarantees beyond that. That would have presented the kind of big bazooka that has helped to tame the systemic crisis only since last year with the ECB's LTRO interventions and OMT decisions. Instead, we got the far clumsier EFSF, which was only last year turned into a permanent and well-capitalised institution, ESM. I dare to claim that our response to the crisis would have delivered better and faster results for our citizens if the original proposals of the Commission had in spring 2010 found acceptance among the Member States. But the time was not ripe yet then for decisions of... Madam President, can I finish? Okay, thank you. Appreciate. So, to make clear the Commission's intentions as regards the future steps, I want to declare the following on behalf of the Commission. And I ask for your patience, and you have to forgive me if I am exceptionally long by my standards, but this is all a rather comprehensive and fragile solution. So once the legislation proposed by the Commission on the two-pack is adopted, the Commission intends to take steps in the short term towards a deep and genuine EMU as outlined in the blueprint. Short-term steps from 6 to 12 months will include In its blueprint for a deep and genuine EMU, the Commission considered that in the medium term a redemption fund and Eurobills could be possible elements of a deep and genuine EMU under certain rigorous conditions. The guiding principle would be that any steps to further mutualisation of risk must go hand in hand with greater fiscal discipline and integration. The required deeper integration of financial regulation, fiscal and economic policy and corresponding instruments must be accompanied by commensurate political integration, ensuring democratic legitimacy and accountability. The Commission will establish an expert group to deepen the analysis on the possible merits, risks, requirements and obstacles of partial substitution of national issuance of debt through joint issuance in the form of a redemption fund and Eurobills. The group will be tasked to thoroughly assess what could be the features in terms of legal provisions, financial architecture and the necessary complementary economic and budgetary framework. Democratic accountability will be a central issue to be considered. The group will take into account the ongoing reform of the European economic and budgetary governance and assess the added value for such instruments in this context. The group will pay particular attention to recent and ongoing reforms such as the implementation of the two-pack, the ESM and other relevant instruments. In its analysis, the group will pay particular attention to the sustainability of public finances, to the avoidance of moral hazard, as well as to other central issues such as financial stability, financial integration and monetary policy transmission. The members of the group will be experts in law and economics, public finances, financial markets and sovereign debt management. The group will be invited to present its final report to the Commission no later than March 2014. The Commission will assess the report and, if appropriate, make proposals before the end of its mandate. An exploration of further ways within the preventive arm of the Stability and Growth Pact to accommodate under certain conditions non-recurrent public investment programmes with a proven impact on the sustainability of public finances made by the Member States in the assessment of their stability and convergence programmes will be done in spring-summer 2013 in the context of the publication of its communication on calendar of convergence towards the medium-term objective. After the decision on the next multiannual financial framework for the EU and before the end of 2013, the Commission will put forward the following proposals to complement the existing framework for economic governance. Measures to ensure greater ex-ante coordination of major economic reforms and the creation of a convergence and competitiveness instrument to provide financial support for the timely implementation of structural reforms that enhance sustainable growth. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not decide on the procedure of the Parliament. So, by way of conclusion.
Concludere il commissario.
The Commissioner is going to conclude.
Il regolamento.
Under the rules, the Commissioner can address the House and he is now concluding his remarks. Commissioner.
The new system, fully in line with the community method, will build on the existing EU surveillance procedures. It would combine deeper integration of economic policy with financial support and thereby respect the principle according to which steps towards more responsibility and economic discipline are combined with more solidarity. It would in particular aim at enhancing the capacity of a member state to absorb symmetric shocks. This instrument would serve as the initial phase towards the establishment of a stronger fiscal capacity. And furthermore, the Commission commits to following up in a speedy and comprehensive manner on its action plan to strengthen the fight against tax fraud and tax evasion, in particular with the view of revision of the directives in the action plan and the measures and proposals announced by the Commission in the package on the employment and social policy area. So I will add some elements to the minutes of the Parliament. This is the overall commitment of the Commission. President, honourable members, I trust that with this declaration sufficient clarity on the intentions of the Commission has been provided to you, and I hope you can next give your vote to the two-pack just in time before this week's European Council, which is very important for rebuilding economic confidence in Europe. This would be a significant step forward in our joint ambition to create a deep and genuine EMU for the benefit of all our citizens. Thank you for your kind attention, thank you for your support, and thank you for your confidence.
Bene, concentratevi sul voto adesso.
Thank you. Now, if we could all return to our vote, which was on the Gauzès report, where we have Amendment 73.